Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
And you are tuned into Our Plugs, a community connection, where culture, commerce, and community come together on one powerful platform.
Absolutely. This is a show that connects Black and minority-owned businesses, nonprofit organizations, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and change makers all in one place. We don't just talk, we build, we uplift, and we plug you into the resources that help our community grow.
Yep. From business ownership and financial empowerment to mental health, education, arts, culture, and justice. This is a space where real conversations meet real solutions.
I know that's right. So wherever you're listening, whether it's from home, at work, or on the move, stay locked in because you're officially plugged into Our Plugs, the community connection.
Now let's get into today's show. Good morning, Holly Springs, Mississippi. Good morning, Memphis, Tennessee. Today is Wild Wednesday. Today is a good day to be above ground versus below. You guys should have seen how Miss Morningstar turned around and looked at me when I said Wild Wednesday. Yes, today is Wild Wednesday. We are living in the Wild Wild West. We may as well call it what it is. It is Wild Wednesday. Come on in, grab you something good to drink. I hope you guys have had your breakfast. It's 9 a.m. So if you've had your breakfast, come on in and sit down, grab you a cup of coffee, or, your reminder, 16 ounces of what? Water first thing in the morning. Take your morning medication and listen to this amazing show that we have planned for you. Today we have our sisters in the house. Our sister, Mrs. Shanika Jack. And we have our sister, Nikki on Purpose. And they are our resident reviewers and discussers of mental health. Today's topic is healing generational trauma. Ooh, that's a big order to fill, but we're going to touch on a few things that should help those who are willing and in need of some encouraging words. So come on in for a great show. Now, give me a second, WKRA 92.7 The Change. Let me say good evening to our family on the TikTok. We appreciate you guys so much for tapping in, tuning in, and just being a part of our family and our community. We couldn't do this without you. I'm going to shout out Queen and Melbo and T-Wiz and even our little brother, Parisi, and all those who are listening in. We truly appreciate you guys. Share the live, tap the screen, gift if you can, and tune in. We've got a great show lined up. But before we get into that, you know me, it is Black History Month. And I reminded you guys yesterday that it is my mission to bring up a Black history fact every time we come on the show. So I want to speak today about an historian who helped establish Black History Month. Here's a Black American you may not have learned about in school. Of course you didn't. Historian Carter G. Woodson, the creator of what we presently know as Black History Month. He worked passionately to establish the event in an effort to provide an education on the origins, the struggles, and achievements of African Americans in the United States. Originally, it existed as a seven days of commemoration, first established in 1926 and called Negro History Week. Woodson penned more than a dozen books, including 1933, The Miseducation of the Negro. If you've ever had the chance to read it, it is a wonderful read. We truly appreciate his dedication to making sure that our history wouldn't be destroyed and taken away. That is a true remnants of Black excellence. And I just want to remind everyone that Black history is American history, and it's American history 365 days a year, 24/7. Please don't get it twisted. All right, now let's go ahead and jump into these affirmations. And we get those affirmations from my little sister, the queen of affirmations, Mrs. Morningstar, from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Good morning, Miss Morningstar. How are you this morning?
I am well. Good morning, everyone. Happy hump day. We made it. We are
Yeah.
here. It is the middle of the week, and it is my favorite month, which is African history. It's all about us, y'all. It's all about us. Black history is all about us. So I love it. Thanks for sharing that Black history note. I got a couple myself that I'll get into through the show. But right now we're gonna talk about some affirmations of African culture. We're gonna talk about reclaiming and celebrating and honoring our heritage, strength, our resilience, fostering the deep sense of pride that we all have, that inner self-worth that we carry around, because we didn't just get that, we inherited that. We're gonna just give you a few quick affirmations that you can use through the day, especially if you're a melanated person, embracing your melanated inner soul. And it's going to focus on the culture, the pride, and our heritage, because our culture is our superpower. All right. So let's get into it. I deserve to move through life with ease. The Black experience includes pain and oppression, but that doesn't mean you have to struggle all the time. A life filled with ease is your ancestral right. Your ancestors and the generations before you did not break radical barriers for you to be stressed out every day. Okay? So that's living in your power. I reject social standards that don't align with me. These standards around everything in the world, especially when it comes to beauty, education, jobs, relationships, gender, sexuality, you name it. If you don't hit the milestone or fulfill the characteristics associated with these socialite rules, you might judge yourself and question your self-worth. But don't, because you are worthy. You're worthy to be whatever you want to be. Because we are the divinely made ones. Remember that. Chosen ones. I give myself permission to create boundaries with family. We always talk about boundaries, y'all. Make sure you create those boundaries. I know we are a tight knit family and sometimes we feel guilty, but you have to set boundaries. I can use my voice to speak up for myself and others. Your voice is the most powerful tool you have. Your voice. For centuries, Black people have started movements to empower our communities and create generational change, and we continue today. That's what we do here on Our Plugs. Number 5, I release feelings of shame around my identity. The world demonizes Black bodies for simply existing. It can be tough not to internalize the negative message about us, but just know we are kings and queens. And that's what you live with. We are kings and queens, despite what they might try to say. I won't allow racism to distract me from my greatness. Absolutely not. The very serious function of racism is distraction. It was a Black American novelist, Toni Morrison. Everybody knows Toni Morrison. In 1975 keynote address in Portland, racism wants you to believe that your life does not matter, that your culture is degenerated, that you're not good enough, that the way you were naturally created is despicable. Lies, lies, and more lies. Number 7, I make time to process strong emotion. As a community, Black people have often been encouraged to suppress our feelings, dealing with our trauma later or never, and keeping it pushing. We have to take time to process our emotions. We are human. I recognize rejection as a protection and redirection. I'm just let that sit right there. I choose to find people who make me feel safe and supported. Our community. You just look around you, the people who you rock with the heart. those are the people who have your back and who are in your corner. You evaluated them and you stuck with them for a reason. And number 10, I am grateful for the opportunity to live my truth. Our ancestors had to go through a lot of injustices to see a change in this world. And for us to be free and chase our dreams, even though we know how far we've come, it's still so easy to get caught up in what we don't have to wish we had. That's a word. But practicing gratitude and can help you maintain a positive outlook, be thankful for what you have, and be open to receiving whatever comes your way.
I agree with all of that, Miss Morningstar. When you hit on how uh, we've been demonized, and it's when they say black, it's such a negative connotation. However, if I'm not mistaken, everything we do, they all copy. Every single other ethnic group copies Black Americans,
They
African
love
Americans.
our CeeLo.
They love it,
They
but they
love
don't. They love our power. They try and emulate our power. They try and instill our power. However, they can never. They can't. They can try. And then, of course, when it's brought up, oh, no, that's not what I was doing. Girl, stop. Anywho, I love being Black. 365, 24/7. And in every lifetime, I pray that I am a Black woman. I love it.
bring me back this, bring this melanin back every
It-
time.
You can make me a little darker. I'd appreciate that. But, other than that, that's my only quip. Make
I,
me as dark as possible. I think the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And that is
it is.
truth. Man,
I go
I,
sit.
you know, yes, the sun is our friend. Yes, the darker the berry, please. And in my mind, I am a dark-skinned Black woman. I don't care what nobody says. All right, let's go ahead and get into this weather. And is Holly Springs, Mississippi. Today you got a high of 41, a low of 21. Childish. Feels like temperatures 33 during the day, 20 at night. That's cold. With a 9% chance of rain. Winds are out of the northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. You have AM clouds and afternoons, sunny conditions. Humidity is high during the day and in the evening. All day long, humidity is high. Air quality is fair. Memphis, Tennessee. Today you have a high of 39, a low of 21. Feels like temperatures 31 during the day, 22 at night. You need a jacket, a hood, some gloves, and a blanket. 7% chance of rain. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy conditions all day. Humidity is high all day. Air quality is fair. All right, come on in, H-Town. H-Town, Houston. All right, high today of 63. That's a little cooler than our 70-degree weather. A low of 41. Feels like 61 during the day, 47 at night, with a 2% chance of rain. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to be a sunny day. Humidity is high during the day, moderate at night, and air quality is good. And that is your weather for this beautiful Wednesday. Get out there and enjoy it and bundle up.
I heard a little birdie say that on the news that right now in the United States, Houston is the warmest climate right now. Even Miami has dropped down to the 40s.
Nope. I appreciate us being warm. I truly do. I like cool weather, but not so much.
I like the 70s, and I think we're gonna have a good weekend. We're gonna have a great
Yeah,
weekend. Yeah.
it's going to be a nice weekend, and I appreciate it. I'm going to do everything that I want to do, which
I be celebrating baby girl. She turned 18 Sunday.
don't you start that crying. Don't you start that crying. It's a blessing. She's turning 18, but I know I'm going to have to hold Miss Morningstar's hand this weekend. Her baby's turning 18. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? Just be happy.
I was looking
Right.
at all the pictures. I'm just like, wow.
Yep. She has come a long way. She's smart. She's beautiful. and she has it together. She has great mentors. You and Frank, you and your husband are excellent parents.
Thank
I
you.
off to you
We
guys.
do the best we can.
And you
They
guys
ain't
do
easy in this
very well.
world.
No, it's not easy. No,
Raising
it's
no
not
kids,
easy.
you know.
Yes, I do. Speaking of kids, let's go ahead and jump into this because I found this today and I was traumatized a tad bit because what bothers me most about this story is I have a grandchild, and my grandchild loves playing video games. He really does. And I allow him to play video games. He has his little PS, whatever it is, I don't know. And he's in there, but I make sure that I have restricted him access to speaking with anyone. And there's a reason why. Two young girls abducted after being groomed by a man they chatted with on Roblox, police say. You know,
Hmm.
I'm all for whipping off on people for touching children. I'm all for that. You know, Kitty doesn't condone violence until I have to be violent. The suspect allegedly drove nearly 24 hours to meet with girls in their hometown after chatting with them online for months and sending them gifts. Something comes to my house that I didn't buy, and it's for one of mine. Oh, we're going to have a big, big problem. And these are two beautiful, when I say beautiful, beautiful African American young ladies. Now, this creep, a 19-year-old, has been arrested after allegedly abducting two young teenagers he chatted with on Roblox and allegedly groomed. That elbow to the chest, baby. Anyway, the victims are 12 and 14-year-old sisters who communicated with the suspect on Roblox and Snapchat. He shared romantic messages and sent the siblings food deliveries before driving nearly 24 hours to abduct them. Two young girls in Florida have been found safe, thank you, Jesus, after police say they were abducted by a man that they met on Roblox and communicated with, Roblox and Snapchat. On Monday, February 2nd, the Martin County Sheriff's Office held a press conference in which they identified, I'm not even going to try and say his name. Nope, his last name is Say. Okay, he's he's of Asian descent, and he's from Omaha, Nebraska. Let me call my cousins right quick. You from Omaha, sir? Let me call my cousins. Little known fact: Kitty is from Omaha, Nebraska. I got people there. As the suspect accused of driving nearly 24 hours straight to pick up the girls from Indiantown, Florida. The sisters are 12 and 14 years old, and the two were initially reported missing. Officials with the Georgia Highway Patrol located the three individuals in the suspect's vehicles hours after the teens were reported missing, the Martin County Sheriff's Office shared on a Facebook post on January 31st. This was a sobering case for us here at the county sheriff's office, but we're thankful at how it ended. They were alerted at 8 p.m. on Saturday that the teens were reported missing a few hours earlier. They learned through their investigation that the same day, about 9 in the morning, these same two girls had gone to a local park there in Indiantown, had been found by a family member and brought back to their home and punished. How were they punished? Because I believe in belt to behind. I don't care if you're 12, I don't care if you're 18. Belt to behind. The sheriff noted that part of the punishment was having their cell phones taken away. He noted that the deputies learned through family members that there was a potential suspect already that had been communicating with the girls via Snapchat since the middle of 2025, who relatives believe was involved in the teen's disappearance. Baby, what? What? When looking at their cell phones for evidence, the Snapchat app had already been deleted, but investigators re-downloaded it and allegedly saw a constant thread of communication between the suspect and the young girls. After seeing the messages, the team knew they were dealing with an abduction. I know these girls went willingly, but their age suggested they had been taken and were probably being removed from the area. Beautiful young ladies, sisters. Baby, the way I would have whooped off. Still, authorities searched local parks, hotels, and other areas in Indiantown for the three. And Bud Bud Sick, that's the sheriff, said it had been freezing that night, and the officials were in full crisis mode as they searched for the girls and the suspect. The communication initially started, we believe, and keep in mind we're going through devices in the summer of 2025 on a gaming app called Roblox. Look, parents, let me tell y'all something. It is okay to take your kids' devices. It is okay to check their messages. I just checked my baby's messages the other day. I sure did. It is okay to take the door off the hinges. Remove the door. They start acting up. Take that door off. Take away devices. Ground them kids. If y'all don't want to do belt to behind like DJ Kitty, because I don't play them games, all right, punishment. Take away the games. Take away it all. Take it all away. Don't give them the opportunity to speak with a creep that will drive 24 hours to come and snatch your babies away. I'm going to pray for these babies because obviously they need some help. I hope the family gets some counseling and lets them know that this is never okay. But for all of you listening, talk to your children and let them know. Stranger danger. I don't care if you are 12. I don't care if you are 14. Until you are an adult, you are a child. All right. That is my take. What say you, Miss Morningstar, before we go to break?
I say a whole lot. I mean, Roblox is dangerous, and it's something that the kids use. There's a lawsuit out currently right now about Roblox. Some families are suing because of SA happening, from children being basically being targeted on that. So
targeted and groomed.
Everything you said is true in fact. Please monitor your children's activity on the internet. These people are nasty. They are thrilled with, trying to groom and perpetrate and hurt young people.
Young people.
It's disgusting.
It is. And I know that we're living in a time where the president and them e-files, makes people look, but it's not okay. Please understand that. It is not okay. Please talk to your young people in the house and let them know that it's never okay for you to have a conversation with an adult unless they're family members. And even some family members, you got to keep your eyes on them. You really do. You do. We're living in different times. Anywho, let's take a break. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back.
Advertising with Our Plugs. The community connection opens doors to a whole new ballgame. Radio advertising is affordable, powerful, and puts your business directly in front of the people who want to support you. Plus, customers can easily find and connect with you anytime through our online directory. If you're ready to grow your brand, expand your reach, and stay connected to the community, sign up today. Visit ourplugs.com and register now. That's ourplugs.com. Plug into your community.
Welcome to Compassion Counseling and Training Services, LLC, where healing takes flight. I am Nicole Wiley, licensed independent clinical social worker, and we empower children, individuals, families, and couples through individualized therapy via telehealth. Using evidence-based approaches like CBT and mindfulness, we help clients build resilience and rediscover their wings. If you're ready to begin your journey, visit CompassionCounselingandTrainingServices.com.
Do you relate to the phrase, "Don't let the pretty face fool you"? That's the motto behind our Pretty Gangster hoodie. I myself am not a people person, so we have a hoodie for that too. Our hoodies do the talking, so you don't have to. Want someone to read your hoodie and think, "Yep, I feel the exact same way"? Or do you want to teach someone how to pray and thank God? Then head on over to our sassy black and white hoodie collection, located in our TikTok shop, and order yours today.
Find us at Sparkle Kicks on Etsy, TikTok, and ourplugs.com.
This is Transformation Training Academy. If you're someone that people walk up to and just talk to and tell all their business to and they don't know you, this is your sign. If you're ready to level up, Transformation Training Academy is ready for you. Coach Nikki and Counselor Nikki push you past your limits into your purpose. We help you break patterns, build confidence, and create real change. Your breakthrough isn't someday, it's today. Contact us at info@thetransformationtrainingacademy.com.
You're locked in to WKRA 92.7, the voice of the community. And listen, 2026 is all about showing up and shining. That is why we rock with Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion meets confidence, purpose, and style. From everyday chic to head-turning statement pieces to some fly arm candy, Morningstar has it all. And while you're shopping, tap into the community. Discover Black-owned and minority-owned businesses at ourplugs.com. Also, check out MorningstarBoutiqueByTam.com, where your light owns your style.
And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs of Community Connection on WKRA 92.7, The Change. Miss Morningstar, go ahead and come on in here. I just needed to get that one story out since we were talking about children. Go ahead.
I'm on mute. Oh, no, I'm not on mute. Yeah, that was a good story. That was a good story. And I'm glad you brought that to the forefront because that's something I've been hearing about, and especially with that particular app. So thank you for bringing that. So the House passes government funding package to end partial shutdown. Now the real fight begins. So after 4 days of a partial government shutdown, it's just one small step away from the ending. That's what they say. The fight over funding for the Department of Homeland Security, however, is just the beginning, is what they're saying. I'm just trying to understand, what's the fight? Like, what are we doing?
Destroying America.
Like breaking America, literally breaking America, breaking the United States, the actual United States.
Down to the studs.
Down to the studs, okay? All the way. We know that this is just a power move. It's nothing about any of this is to help the people. It's already people being furloughed. You know, again, here we go. People not being able to work. You're hurting the American people. People are not going to get certain benefits that they're looking to get. I mean, you're hurting the American people. You're not helping us. And I think they pretty much know they're not.
They don't care.
Don't care. Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is where we're at. They do not care. They could care less about anything that we got going on.
Yeah, they don't care. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes out on it. Everybody kind of, see. To those who are furloughed, please connect with the community. See, make sure you get some help and during this hard time, because we understand it's hard. It's hard.
Well, now that Frumpy has signed the bill, that should bring them back into office and do some work. But they're not doing any work. They're just in there, placating and having these mock trials, trying to bring the Clintons in. Bring Frumpy in. That
was my next thing. So now the Clintons have agreed to testify, which is great.
Baby, the way I go in there and let the chopper say
everything. Tell it all, Bill.
Tell it all.
Tell it all. What you got to lose? Tell it all.
I would go in there and just let it sing, baby. I would tell.
I hope like a bird, because I know you know some stuff.
I would sing like a canary. I sure would, and I would dare them to say something. I'm not done talking. I'm not done talking.
Respect me. I'm the ex-president. I'm the president.
You.
Yeah. Show some respect, some decorum. I wish Jim Jones and all them bullies would yell. And Hillary, she'll check them, because she kind of feisty. She will check someone. So we shall see. We shall see when the Clintons get in there and testify.
I just have one request. Bill and Hillary, I know y'all listening. Call me, because I got a list of questions I want y'all to ask them. Okay? Starting with Jim Jordan, and then go to Lindsay, Lady Lindsay. Okay, I have a list of questions. Then come on the show and let me interview y'all. Thank you. Go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
Yeah, that was the gist of that for as far as what I had. And I mean, just different stories that I can think of off the top of my head and stuff that's going on. I mean, we still have the whole ICE situation. What you got? You got something else?
I do. House Speaker welcomes Frumpy call to take over elections, claims Dems wins appear fraudulent. Boy, y'all wish y'all really and truly are trying y'all best.
Delusional.
Even after y'all have redistricted, the mere fact that that county, which has been Republican for the past 17 years, was overwhelmingly, I mean, dog walked, and it went to the Dems. That is just a precursor of what's coming. Y'all have pissed off, y'all done already, y'all always
messed up. Y'all made your own people mad.
Y'all done pissed off MAGA. Y'all done pissed off the real Republicans, because what's in office right now and that foolishness, those are MAGA. But the real Republicans, those are the ones that are living and dealing with life. And they're like, oh, no, we're not voting for y'all. So good luck with that. Yes, Angel said federal prosecutors are quitting. You are absolutely right.
They are.
Why would you stay?
Why? Because they're not with this unlawfulness. They like, we didn't go to school, put our careers on the line for this. You see what happened to everybody who was in his first administration. They lost law licensing. They went to prison. It's not looking too good for criminals.
That's what you get.
But he got to stay out while y'all went in. They don't comprehend that part. It's
the ones that are walking away, they do comprehend it. The ones that are sticking around thinking that he's a savior, you get what you get and you don't have a fit. I cannot wait. And for that final blink, is going to, they may start taking themselves out because Pam Blondie, Christy Gnomes is a ball, Christy Gnomes, Cricket Eyed, Cash Patel. Who else? Pete Keg's Breath, Stephen Pee Wee German Miller, all of them, Melangerie, all of y'all will be Steve Bannon, all of y'all will be facing charges. I cannot wait.
I can't wait.
I got a really cute dress that I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna dress up there, and the entire time it is going to be a celebration on that final blink. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did you see that Don Lemon went on Jimmy Kimmel last night?
I saw that. I watched it. I'm
proud of Don.
I am too.
I'm proud of Don.
At this time, in this 2026, most people aren't even tuning into mainstream media.
Right.
Simply because they are complicit and they have been bought. Their owners won't allow them to tell the truth. They get on mainstream media and they lie. And those who are aware of what's happening, we are turning to our independent journalists, such as ourselves, to actually hear the truth and bring people the truth. And I'm not mincing words. All of them, all of those demons, you got your day coming. And I cannot wait. That final blink is going to be glorious.
I heard a powerful senior yesterday talk on TikTok. And I think we've all heard her speak before, but it was something different about her speaking this time. Like the ancestors are speaking through her. And she said, to the coon that was up on the panel, she said, "You are an abomination."
An abomination.
She said, "We are dealing with demons. They are demonic forces." She called it. We all been saying it, but for some reason, I felt like she knew exactly what they were and called them out.
It hits different when you are listening to someone that can be your grandmother. You know,
Yes.
because there's a difference that, you listen to your parents, kids will listen to their parents. But when you have someone who's an elder and that reminds you of your grandmother, you take heed. I'm quite sure he sat back. He may have said something smart then, but I'm quite sure he looked in the mirror and said,
Oh, he eventually ran because he couldn't take too much of that truth she was
well,
spilling. But it's okay. But you heard what she said. And the thing is that we need those talking to. We need the seniors, that we still have around. We need that wealth of knowledge because a lot of them are seeing exactly what they used to witness back in their day. The same evil, demonic force.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's a matter of time. Let's go ahead and bring the sisters up. While we bring them up, I will say Florida court tosses GOP suit attempting to influence elections by challenging U.S. Census. They're going to try everything.
They're trying everything. I'm telling you.
And that's fine.
Keep
trying that. But at the end of the day, people are going to get out and vote. The 92 and 88%, we're just building, and I'm quite sure we got it. But them white folks, it's y'all time to shine. Y'all better wake up. Thinking that this white supremacy gonna save you. It's not. It's not.
It ain't.
It's not.
And I just go right back to our journalists, our independent journalists. Thank goodness for them. Thank goodness they out here, speaking the truth. Joy Reid, all of them.
I don't know about Joy Reid. Hold on. Because Joy
I like Joy. I don't care what y'all say.
I understand Joy. You may like Joy, but hear me out. Joyanne, let me tell you something. The last thing we need right now is to call out the Democrats. Use that same energy to call out them Republicans. Who's in charge of the House?
Well, you know what?
Who's in charge of the Democrats too?
I got that. The Democrats, some of them is falling and failing.
I agree.
Don't know what they need to do. So some of them need to be called out, because if you sit there and you don't say nothing to them, they're gonna think writing a letter is good enough. No, some of y'all two-faced, because some of them been voting the wrong way as well. So they need to be called out by their own people instead of being called out by the other side, because they always hear that, but they need to be checked.
They do. Well, them two at the top, they're horrible.
If you're going to call out the Democrats, use that same energy and call out them Republicans. Right now,
she is though.
Right, hold on. Right now, when she did that interview the other day, no, she did not. The interview.
Which
she did
interview? I have to go back and watch it. I just watched it.
Go check it out. She didn't call out not a single. My entire issue with that is we have an administration that has taken America through there. But instead of us focusing on the people who are actually hurting and harming Americans, we are infighting within the Democratic Party.
But they always have been that way, Kitty, and that's the problem.
It's always been that way. It doesn't mean that it should be.
No, it doesn't make it right. But this is the thing. We have too many infiltrators within our organization. People who are not solidly, within the blue organization. Everybody, I don't sit here and say that everybody is, blue. We gotta, they doing the right thing. I think those people gotta be called out to the front too. They gotta be called out to the front. But we have to focus on voting the right way.
And when you sit up and you turn people against voting for Democrats versus voting for Republicans, that's my issue. Do y'all not remember Joyanne Reid?
I do remember what she
said about Kamala.
I remember. I don't remember. I remember what she said about Joe Biden.
I remember what she said about Kamala as well.
What she said about? I don't remember what she said about Kamala.
I don't know what she said about Kamala.
I'll let you know. Give me just a second.
But I'm just saying, I don't believe in disparaging my sisters that's out here doing the work. If you out here doing the work, if she doing some work, then I feel like we got to celebrate each other. We got enough of that. We got enough of us talking about each other and trying to.
Right. And maybe she's just trying to.
Maybe she's trying to
fight a fire.
We have enough of us talking
but
back
she can have a
about
change of
Democrats.
heart. She can have a change of heart because again, Kamala was mischaracterized by a lot of people. I didn't know who Kamala was in the beginning. Honestly, I did not. I decided to be the smart person and do my research on who Kamala was. But in the beginning, I'm like, who is this chick? I didn't know who she was. I wasn't thrilled until I did the research, until I understood who she was, until I heard her speak. You know,
Yeah.
some people, it took them, and it might have took them some time. I mean, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I know our common ground is to vote these demons out of here. And I just personally, and this is just my opinion, everybody entitled to their opinion. I'm not gonna spend my time, bashing or disheartening another sister who out here doing that independent. She got fired too, just like the rest of the other ones that got fired from her corporate job.
Yeah, it's the
saying
DEI.
the right things.
But maybe she's just trying to wake Shifty and Humphrey, Jeffries up, because they're always trying to be so bipartisan. Maybe her point is trying to wake people up. But at the end of the day, we got to do our research, like Ms. Morningstar said. We got to do our research and make sure we know who we need to vote for and do that. We can't solely go off of people's opinions,
Right.
But
at all, you have to make your own decision.
So
I just
maybe you just took the opportunity to use that episode to talk to just Democrats, because maybe they so used to her talking to against MAGA and at the Republicans. Maybe she just took the one you saw, Kitty, and just made it, hey, this one is specifically for y'all because y'all are messing up. Y'all can do better.
And I agree with that. Of course, I do agree with that 1,000%. My issue is I don't want us to get back into the same sense when Kamala when they wanted Joe Biden to step down. Kamala steps up, and instead of everybody rallying around and making sure that we get the message out about Kamala, it was an immediate negativity about Kamala Harris versus doing the research. Like you said, Ms. Morningstar, do your research about Kamala before you get out and you tell your listeners, oh, don't vote for her, or I have issues with her. No, just like Charlemagne the God. My thoughts on Joy Reid is, my thoughts on her is, I respect her as a journalist. I always have, and I actually like listening to her, but it bothers me. There's a time and place for everything. When we are in the mud, the last thing we need is somebody who's standing next to us, pulling us down. And as a journalist, you have to take that stand and say, they're already taking America through there. Yes, we do need to point out the ones like Fetterman, who got in office as a Democrat, then flipped the switch. Yes, I agree with that. But that Tellerico and Jasmine Crockett issue, that has really got me saying, okay, look, I feel like it's a repeat of how they did Kamala.
In a sense, it is when it comes to Jasmine. But see, Jasmine is on the problem that as a nation, Jasmine is running for the state of Texas. Everybody can't vote for Jasmine, even though they want to. We should be supporting, but we do run into those trolls, and that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't care what black woman, what black man get up there. Because this is a racist nation. Period. It's going to happen. We can't stop it, but what we can do is rally together and focus on it. We can't we can't even change what happened in the past when it came to Kamala. We can't change that. They tried to take that woman down, but she did her thug dizzle for them little days. She had them 107 days. She did her thing, and can't nobody take that from her. And guess what? She get to sit back and say, "I told you so," because she did tell us so.
But I can't, but what I personally can't do is go back and just think about all the things that people, well, you should have did this for her. You should have, or you said this about her. You should, what we doing today? What you gonna do today? Because we got midterms in just less than probably what we at? 5 months
We
away?
have the primary
We got
month,
primary
Texas.
next month.
And then we
Y'all
have
do?
midterms
Yes.
next month.
So we got business
We have
to do.
yes, big
we got
business to do.
business.
And the last thing
I
we need to
get,
do
I see
is
your
divide.
frustration,
And y'all in
Wiz. I see
Texas.
your frustration about Joy. I don't know her from a can of paint, but what I do know is that she gonna vote the way we vote, and I know she a sister, and she gonna vote the way we vote. She can have her opinion as well, but I know she gonna vote the way we vote.
And
That's
we don't
all
know
I
what
care.
because of who she is and the experiences she has. We don't know how, her experience she had with some of these folks. You know what I mean? That
Yeah, we don't know.
make her feel the way she's feeling. But I'm with you. We gotta figure something out. But sometimes the Democrats do need somebody to light a fire under them because they be on foolishness. They be trying to people please, and they be trying to people please. We don't got time for that.
How many of them voted? How many of them voted in the House?
Niceties. It's time to not be nice.
How many of them voted in the House to fund the demons?
Right.
Fund ICE. How many of them?
8.
Yeah.
Eight.
We got
It was
some moles
8.
and trolls within our own party. However, we need them on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's just not what they
because
are.
we don't trust that. That's something we don't trust. So like what Nikki was saying and what everybody is saying, we still gonna vote for the same party, but those people might switch up. And if you do things like that, it makes us suspect. So like Ms. Morningstar was saying, Joy's still gonna vote for the right team. We not questioning if she's gonna do that. We questioning people like these 8 Democrats that voted to help fund ICE, like
what
they
y'all
aren't
doing?
fighting against ICE. Like, I don't trust y'all. Right. That doesn't show that we're all working for the same common goal. So it's it breaks trust in the party,
and
when we already have dissent in the party.
Exactly. And the common goal should be to get someone in office who's going to vote to, number one, remove this administration. That is number one.
Right.
That is number one. And if that's not what you're talking about, we don't even want to talk to you.
Let's flip it. We got to flip this entire. We got to flip it, baby. Cartwheel it, flip it up, smack it, rub it down, whatever. We got to do that whole thing.
Waffles. Oh,
we got to. We don't have no choice.
Everything. We do.
We are. I don't even want to say.
We ain't gonna make it 4 years of this. We ain't. No. We can't do it. We got to get these folks up out of here.
We do. And right now, I just feel like this is not the time.
We barely made this year, and we lost some things. So I want to speak to the people that did not vote. Everybody that did not vote, that got us into this. Sometimes people think my vote doesn't matter, right? So we need people to understand their vote does matter. We had more people that didn't vote than did per party. So we really have to get our voices out there to say, hey, I don't care what you're doing. This year should teach you what not voting does. We barely made it through this year. We do not have it in us to make it through 3 more years of this foolishness. They're taking things from you. If you can't make people care about what's being taken from them, then we're spinning wheels. And that's what the Democrats need to keep doing. Make sure you're focusing on telling people, hey, in the middle of the night when they're trying to hold hearings, this is what they're trying to take from y'all. Be loud. We got to get louder.
All right. So at the end of the day, go to bluevoterguide.org.
Yeah.
Check out the people that you're going to vote for. Do your own research and make your decision in the voting booth. If you like what's going on, then it's status quo. But if you don't like what's going on, the only way that you're going to change what's happening is getting out there and voting. And take a friend and tell a friend. Go vote.
Stop being simple. Stop being simple sap suckers and get out your feelings and get out your mind. Stop letting people poison your mind. I saw what you said, T-Wiz. Don't let people poison your mind. Get out your feelings. Get into your power, just like Powerful Black Woman says. Stand in who you are. We come from kings and queens, baby. Ain't nothing gonna be strong enough to destroy this. This is powerful. We need to use it.
Exactly. And use it for good. Use it for good. Not falling for the okie doke. That
Exactly.
Jill Stein, Cornell West, all that.
You was
Okie
weak.
doke.
Y'all was weak for that.
Weak-minded.
Y'all was
very
weak for
weak.
that. I know y'all listening. Y'all was weak for that.
Very. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to get on topic, healing generational trauma. And this is actually our generational trauma right now.
It is. Right. We on topic.
This is on topic. Right. We didn't have the right to vote. We on topic.
Exactly. And if y'all keep messing around, they're going to take that as well. Just like they took food stamps. Anywho, I don't get food stamps, but doggone it, if somebody's selling them, I sure will buy.
I got $100. I got
a few dollars now. Let's be clear. I will look 50 for 50. Look, $50
for 100.
Okay,
I want to say I'll make it go 50 for 50.
No, 50.
I meant 50 for 100. You're right.
50 for 100.
Let's take a
break. That ain't how it go, Kitty. Now 50 for 100.
You are listening to
Our Plug. Talking like that on the radio.
Our Plug, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back.
Advertising with Our Plugs. The community connection opens doors to a whole new ballgame. Radio advertising is affordable, powerful, and puts your business directly in front of the people who want to support you. Plus, customers can easily find and connect with you anytime through our online directory. If you're ready to grow your brand, expand your reach, and stay connected to the community, sign up today. Visit ourplugs.com and register now. That's ourplugs.com. Plug into your community.
Carter's Caring Hands is here to serve the communities here in Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, as well as Southfield, Michigan. We also go out into the unhoused community, serve the community with care bags. Low-income families, our senior citizens, and our veterans with fresh food baskets each and every day, because no one should choose medication over food. We are here to serve you. Your community is our community, and our community is one community. From our hands to your hand.
Feel your heart.
Hello, my name is Robin, and I'm out here helping Carter's Caring Hands, and I also work the food pantry with them. It's an excellent place where people can come get out some food. I was homeless, and I've gave myself to the Lord, and I'm out here helping anybody I can help. So if you need help or prayer, just stop by. We'll pray with you and help you out. In Jesus' name, God bless.
Hello, my name is Keith Young. I'm the founder of Young Helping Hands, headquartered in Detroit, Michigan. Young Helping Hands is a business created to help seniors in our community. We help seniors in all areas, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, in efforts to enhance their overall health and wellness. To learn more about Young Helping Hands, please visit our website, www.young-helping-hands.com. You can also reach out to us via email, younghelpinghands1@gmail.com. Lastly, you can visit us on Our Plugs podcast, January.
At Lovership Apparel, we believe what you wear should remind you of who you are. This is where love meets style. From our signature beautiful hoodies created to remind you to show up as your full authentic self, to our bold her shirts designed for women who know their worth and wear it proudly. Lovership Apparel is more than clothing. It's a movement. Our comfortable, confidence-boosting leggings move with you, while our statement backpacks carry your essentials and your purpose wherever life takes you. Every piece is intentionally designed to inspire self-love, confidence, and authenticity, because you deserve to wear something that speaks life into you. Whether you're stepping out, showing up, or standing firm in who you are, Lovership Apparel is made for you. Visit lovershipapparel.com and wear the reminder, be you to the fullest.
And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs, a community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Before we get into, we continue this discussion, I wanted to make a comment about Lovership Apparel's commercial. Miss Addie walking away in that hoodie is absolutely positively everything. If you are looking for the cutest hoodies, Miss Addie made those hoodies for Coach Nikki. They're on Lovership Apparel. They are so cute. And she has so much confidence walking away. Oh, I want a little granddaughter. Oh, so bad. Anywho,
Miss Addie got a book too.
She has a book. Hold on. Miss Addie has a book.
I finally ordered my book. It's on its way.
This is Addison Sparkle. I love this book. Y'all did a wonderful job. Not only is it a story for young kids that are going to school and dealing with other kids, there's activities in the back that the kids can do. I absolutely love this.
If y'all have grandchildren, buy them that book. Go on Amazon and order that book.
It is so worth it. And wait, there's more. She's coming out with one for boys. Oh, I cannot wait.
What? Yes.
I'm so proud. I'm a proud mama, proud sister. I'm so proud.
That's
all right. That is how you break generational trauma.
She's so smart.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is great. She has a wonderful mom who's showing her.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. It is so true. Okay.
She looks just like her.
Wait, oh yeah, she sent Miss Jack a video today unboxing her hat.
Stole her whole face.
Stole her whole face. Oh, you need to put that video on a commercial. Yes.
I can't wait to see her in it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? I know we were talking about healing generational trauma when we were going through the voting, but what do you guys have for us?
I might have a delay.
You do.
Yeah.
So can you hear Ms. Jack? So I can start out with kind of just what the key concept around that is, because I think we say it a lot, but I don't know if people really know what it is. So generational trauma is trauma that's passed down through behaviors, belief systems, your nervous system responses. So like fight or flight responses to stuff, chronic stress, hypervigilance, like you are easily startled, emotional numbing or shutting down. Those are kind of your nervous system responses. That's passed down. I was just talking about yesterday how stress, there was this research study that showed how stress and anxiety could be passed down to your baby. Like if you're stressed out during your pregnancy. So that's kind of some of this stuff can be passed down through your nervous system and kind of just your family dynamics. So it's not just like a psychological thing. It influences your health, your stress responses, and your identity. Because remember, we're living in this household. So it all seems normal. It seems like this, this is our house. This is what we know. So it all seems normal.
And living with stress is never normal. I mean, yes, we all have stressors, but how will people recognize that, okay, what I'm dealing with every day is not normal? How do they recognize that, Nikki?
So some of that, the way that you're going to recognize it is once you get, like, especially for kids, when you go out of your home and to the school, you realize everybody's not reacting to things the way you are. You realize that things outside of your house are not, the same. So the way it might show up is like I said, hypervigilance, like you're easily startled by everything. Maybe a distrust of systems. Think about like our medical systems and, what happened with the Tuskegee, the Tuskegee experiments and stuff like that. So we don't trust the medical, like shots and vaccinations and stuff like that. I remember I worked for the state during C-19 and they were so confused why, if I'm going and knocking on Black and brown people's doors, how come I can't get nobody takes this? And I'm like, you haven't heard of Henrietta Lacks or, the Tuskegee experiment? You haven't heard of these things? That's why nobody's going to take that from you. Yeah, you can go try to get the church involved, but people start not trusting the church because they were part of that too. So just noticing things like that. Maybe you're silencing your emotions or numbing, right? You're pushing that down because when we're trying to survive, we don't have time to let people see our emotions because then we come off as weak. Right. So these are kind of some of the things you're exhibiting, like survival-based parenting. So I'm telling you the things you need to survive in the world at a young age. You know, when you go out of here, you need to be doing A, B, C, and D so that you can come back to me. If a police stops you, you need to do A, B, C, and D so you can come back to me. So the way that we are parenting our children is based in survival and not in safety. If that makes sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense.
And then like internalized racism, you know, we may see racism. People are like, oh, you think everything is racist. It's like, well, you know, like that was a racist situation. I was in a meeting today and they were talking about people who are on Medicaid and Medicare. And the way they were talking about them, it's always they, and, you know, they tend to do this and that. And I had to stop them and like talk to them about, you know, how, first of all, how I was feeling about how they were talking about people. And I had to educate them on that's not the way that you talk about people. And that's racist. That's, you know, you sound racist.
What'd they say?
They were just looking simple. You know, they can't never just admit that maybe there's something there. They just always had a little simple look on their face, and then just sat there.
Did you let them know that white people get more food stamps than anybody?
I try to tell them. I'm like, you all are assuming, you know. And then one guy, this what really took me over. They were looking at this one guy's chart, and from his name, they're like, "Oh my God, let me see if he speaks English." I'm like, "What?"
I would they're gonna have to break that. That's that. You know how some people say that they feel like they're not racist and they don't see certain things, and then they do stuff like that, and then you have to tell them like, this is inherent racism. You may not act, you know, just because you're not blatantly saying the N-word, things like this is racist, and these are the things that you can work towards not doing anymore. Categorizing people or saying slick remarks like, let me see if they speak English, like in the wrong group of people, that's going to offend some people. You know,
that's
not going to be
generational trauma. That's their generational trauma. That is literally their generational trauma, where they don't even recognize. I mean, and it could be the most charismatic white person that you hang around at work. You might have had lunch with them a couple times. They'll say something and they have and then when you address them and you correct them, they like Nikki said, they're stuck. Like, what did I say wrong? They don't know.
Right.
Let me break those folks. This is all happening. Nikki is actually in Minnesota. So while they're out there chanting and marching about equality and ICE, she is dealing with racism in the workplace. So how evolved have they been? It wasn't enough for, Renee Good to lose her life and them to snap out of it. It wasn't good enough for Alex Preddy to lose his life and for them to snap out of it. Here it is, a week, 2 weeks later, and Nikki has to deal with it in the workplace. So,
you know what else?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We have T-Wiz. T-Wiz is a therapist as well, and she does calls. And, we had a conversation on my live one day about, and this could still go towards generational trauma, still having to help people that offend you, right? Because that's how we grew up. So she has to help people that are absolutely racist but they're calling her for mental health. They're calling her being negative, being racist, saying, I don't want to speak to you. Or I called you for assistance, and she has to, try to put on her professional hat and still push forward through her job and help them. And that's what a lot of Black people have to deal with. We have to grin and bear it, so to speak. We're used to, still doing our job because we don't have the luxury of, cursing somebody out and losing our job or having a fallback to fall on. So some things we put up with because we want to keep our job and focus on our family. Me losing my job is not worth me reacting to your racism for the moment because I'm going to be looked at bad and you're not. So that is something that we all have to, learn as Black people, as well as that we don't have certain luxuries. And it blows my mind when people say, you guys have all these privileges. No, we do not.
What
You know, you
privileges
can
do
ask
we
for
have?
privileges. They think we have this thing called Black privilege, and I'm like,
Because
what
we're
is it?
beautiful, y'all. They look
They
at
just
us.
don't know what else to say. They know they made
We
that
got
up.
that.
They are mesmerized by
Yeah.
our look. Literally. Have you ever caught a YT person just staring at you?
Staring? Yes.
They're
They
I,
flirt with me
I had
only my
one.
life.
I had one the other day, a lady, and I was angry. Anyway, I was in my drop kick mode. And so I was ready to slap her, but I had to realize she is mesmerized by my hair because she was looking at my hair. She was just, and I wanted to be like, excuse me, you're staring into my soul. What? They are mesmerized by us. And
Right.
because they can't be us, and because we have so many gifts, so many talents, look at our athletes. Look at the Olympics when they run. Who's running? Who's winning? Anything we do, we conquer. They had a 400-year head start, and look where we are today. They are mesmerized by who we are. And this is what, and sometimes I think that can turn into hate because
It
they
does turn
can't
into
be
hate.
us.
Jealousy. It speaks to how we have healed that aspect because we used to not shine in public. We try to cower down so we don't have this much attention because people are going to look down on us and feel like we're on substances to get this type of strength. Now we are reveling in our power. Anything you give us, we're going to succeed at. And so that's going to make other people upset with us, but we still have to, change and not worry about it. You know how many times we have to say, I'm not going to worry about how you feel about me or what you think about me. I'm doing my job. No, nobody helped me. No, nobody helped me get good grades. No, nobody got me this job. I studied. I got this position. Like, we had from that. We worked for it instead of thinking somebody gave it to us.
We got to make sure, though, that we're doing it for us, like we're doing it for us, because there also is a way that this trauma shows up in us where it's overachievement. You know what I mean? And that's a way of us protecting ourselves. If I'm up here, you can't tell me that I'm not qualified for A, B, C, and D. I'm going to be overqualified. I'm going to be in rooms that you don't want me in because there's nothing you can tell me to keep me out. So it's a way to protect too. So it's almost, and that's Black women, people look at us as strong Black women, which I cannot stand. I don't want to carry that, but we carry that because we can't show our emotions and we overachieve. So are we doing it for us? Or are we doing it so that maybe we can quiet some of this down? Maybe we can feel safe.
It seems like that is the goal. Oh, well, let me do this so they have nothing to say. But at the end of the day, the mere fact that in spite of all that our ancestors, as well as ourselves, have endured, we are in a place where they can't understand how are they still standing? How are they still powerful? How are they still strong? And we've thrown everything under the kitchen sink at them. We've done everything, burnt them out. We've drowned them. We've taken so much from them, but still they rise. How is that? It is because we are the superhumans and they are mutants.
We have no other choice but to succeed. When you push us all the way down, we have to pop up. You go into a pool, if you jump feet first into a swimming pool, gravity should pull you back up. Once you hit the ground, gravity usually will pull you up unless you start doing all kinds of stuff. Once you hit the bottom, you have nowhere to go but up. And I think, like you said, we are so used to over succeeding just to make sure people don't have anything to say about us. But, we teach that to our kids. Hey, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to get into college. You got to get a scholarship. You got to be a D1 athlete. You got to do this, 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 and this. And we forget to live life sometimes.
And breathe.
And the last piece of how it shows up is shame, guilt, or feeling responsible for other people's emotions. And I really feel like this might be where Black is at. You know what I mean? Like they've been in situations where they might have been the only Black person in the room at the school or at the job. And they feel they start to have this where they feel bad or guilty or shameful for their coworkers, their classmates, their community people, their feelings. And I feel like that's where that comes from with them. You know,
Well,
instead
I
of
don't
them
know.
owning who they are, they feel ashamed.
They do have some shame. I think shame is part of it. I think some women hurt them where they wouldn't vote for Kamala. I think they don't like themselves. And then I think it's just an ego. It's a misogyny. You know, some of them feel like a woman can't tell them anything. But like you said, I really think they dislike themselves where they grew up. They're living in, or they love the glamour of feeling like another group accepts them. That's doing
but they're
better
not actually
than
being
them.
accepted. They're not actually being accepted.
They think they
when
are.
When it comes to blagger, let me be real clear. They're just stupid. Y'all are just stupid.
They are. And they are little boys and gals that have had trauma happen within their life somewhere. They never got it corrected. Like while we talking about generational healing and trauma, how you have to heal from something. When you went through something and maybe, I mean, I'm hypothetically, maybe, you know, the men witnessed their mothers not being motherly or doing some things that they didn't like. It could have set a trauma in them. Now they just look at Black women as the evil ones. You know, they never got assistance for that trauma. And now and that's their fault. You carry that through your life. You know you carrying something because you know everybody ain't like your mama or everybody ain't like the bad influences you had in your life, but you hold on to that trauma. And this is exactly what I feel like they all a bunch of hurt little boys and little girls.
They might be hurt.
But think about it. If your mom, if your mom is supposed to take care of you, and that's the person who's supposed to love you, that's the person who's supposed to teach you about that, and you don't get that from her, you are going to hold on to something. You do need to get some help for it, but that's going to create an issue. You can't trust nobody else if you can't trust your mama.
That part.
I have a portion for healing. Actually, I have two. One is processing emotions, right? Because we really have to learn how to process our emotions. Processing emotions is very hard to do if you are not taught how to do it correctly. Making people feel bad about expressing themselves emotionally can stunt their ability and willingness to express it later in life and in relationships. So to heal that, we have to ensure that your household breaks that generational trauma. Start when your kids are young and make sure you are not wrongly overreacting to things they share and make them feel safe being emotional. I did not grow up in a household where it was safe to vent, share your emotions. My mom was a single parent and she had 3 kids. She worked 11 to 7, 3 to 11, and 7 to 3. It was swing shifts. So either she was home and she was asleep or she was at work, right? But when we were all there together, it was not, hey, let's sit down and tell mommy how we're feeling. Let's learn how to process emotion. My dad did not grow up in the house with me. I knew who he was, but I became emotional on my own, right? Same thing with my brother. He's learning to be emotional now with me, and he's 40. So in a household, if you have children, please make sure that you're making it comfortable for them to do that, because we've seen people get grown and still can't manage their emotions because they didn't grow up that way, or they felt like it was negative. They were looked at negatively for expressing their emotions. So we got to make it comfortable. Kitty, I know your grandson will come tell you anything.
Everything.
Boy, the star, I know your daughter will. And baby Addie is just a grown-up trapped in a 6-year-old body. They are very vocal.
Yeah.
But y'all made it comfortable for them. Y'all broke that already. Everybody may not have grown up the same way because people can change. And that's something I feel like our generation is more vocal. This generation, not mine, but the one we have now, they real vocal.
Can I say
Yeah.
this, y'all? And whether it be good or bad, the way you grew up, however you take it, it may look bad to some people, but you could have had the best life that you knew. Like some things I went without growing up, I didn't even notice it,
Yeah.
and I would see my friends may have, and I didn't have because my parents couldn't afford it. But I grew up a certain way, but when I had my child, there were some things I was going to do differently than what my parents did, because they were parents just like I'm a parent, who we're imperfect and we're learning this journey. So I think whether you grew up good or in a good home or a bad home, you still have the obligation to change, to heal from whatever trauma you might have had. It might not have been, I don't know if I should call it trauma or whatever, that you need to change, because from generation to generation it's going to change, and the way that kids are raised or the way your life changes through the generations, things are different. I can't possibly do everything my parents would do, because these children learn differently now. And that's, to me, breaking the generational curse.
It is.
It is.
You absolutely did it. The way you grew up was different. We had different technology. People had to work differently then. It wasn't like we had people where we could actually take the baby to next door instead of daycare. Somebody will watch your kids. It was just a different situation.
Different time.
Yeah, it was different time.
You definitely can't do that now. You can't leave your child with anybody.
That's one thing we learned too.
Yeah, and I like that too. That's about healing the family, like you said, the emotions, being able to talk openly in the family about family history, trying to repair any ruptures that happen in the family now, instead of 15 years later and everybody's all messed up and ain't nobody talking to each other, and you don't have anybody to fall back on and help you. Healthy boundaries. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, that was my second one. Building secure attachments. Focus on creating safe, trusting relationships, and stop the cycle of dysfunction. It is okay to not be around people or places that you feel like you have an obligation to go to, but it's filled with people who have grudges from 20 years ago that have never let it go or never discussed it. And that's a generational thing. When you say, oh, you can't talk about such and such around somebody. So I'm gonna talk about everything. If they don't want to hear it, then you might want to leave. That my family knows that about me, but there's things like that. And you pass that, you start passing on, you got a bunch of people confused on why you can't talk to such and such about whatever. It's weird. So we have to normalize getting a conversation started, a conversation had, and if it doesn't fit what you want, then be able to disconnect with certain people and walk away. I always say it's safer to walk away and disconnect from people that are no longer healthy and no longer provide like a good part in your life. It's no problem with leaving them people alone. And I see the comment.
Yes.
Communication is the most important key. Yeah.
To having a positive attitude. That's from Powerful Black Woman, and she's absolutely right. It leads into what you were saying. Let's normalize speaking and talking things out, especially with our young adults, our children. Talk to your kids. I agree with you. My parents, Miss Jack, I grew up with both my mother and father, but they worked. And, they were great parents that gave us what we needed. Not always what we wanted, but that we always had what we needed,
right.
Food, lights, gas, water, roof over our head, we had what we needed. However, some people didn't grow up like that. And if you didn't grow up like that, that is not an excuse for you to continue that generational curse. Yeah. You have children now. It is okay to speak with your kids. Listen to them. They're just little adults growing up, and they're sponges. Everything that they see, they soak in. So be that example that you needed as a child. We're coming to the end of the show, ladies. As always, we don't have enough time to figure it all out. But we have a full month of Black history and getting into the weeds of what makes us tick. And I love our mental health days with my little sisters. Mrs. Jack, any last words before we wrap?
The story you told about Roblox is a perfect opportunity for speaking to your children. If you talk to them enough, you may know the things that they're doing online.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Jack. Mrs. Addie's mom, Mrs. Nikki on purpose. Any last words?
Yes. So I'm giving homework. Only because we got to work through some stuff. I agree with you all that we cannot stay stuck in the patterns of, the past. We have to make that decision that we're not going to stay there. So it's a journaling prompt that says, what patterns did I inherit that I want to release? So look into yourself. What patterns did I inherit that I would like to release?
Yes, you're welcome, Voodoo, too. Thank you, Miss.
I love that.
Nikki. I love that. Yes, that's a good one.
Because you always say, you say something and you catch yourself. Everybody has my mama. I sound just like my mama.
Swore we wasn't gonna sound like our mama. Swore.
And it don't be like I just knew I was when I was younger. I was like, oh, I can't wait to grow up. I ain't gonna be nothing like you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna treat my kids like you treat my kids. Baby, please. I took that door off just like my daddy took the door off of my room. Sure did.
Baby,
you know why.
I found myself when my child was little, go get Mr. Spoon. Where did you hear that?
The wooden one?
You know the little wooden spoon?
I do. Mine was go get my belt.
That came later.
Yes. All right. Great show, ladies. As always, thank you. Mrs. Morningstar, go ahead and take us home.
Man, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys for today. It was awesome. It was healing. It was a great way to cleanse our mental health. I hope everybody goes out and be great on Wednesday. Holly Springs and Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all go out and be great. Be blessed. Enjoy your day. Come back tomorrow, though, at 9 a.m. We'll be back with our leaders who mentor. So we'll have our brothers in the building, and I'm pretty sure it'll be just another great conversation always. So y'all come on back and holler at us. Thank you, WKRA 92.7 The Change. We appreciate you guys. TikTok and the YT. We love y'all. Bye.
As we wrap up today's show, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, tapping in, and staying connected to your community.
Remember, this platform exists to uplift Black-owned businesses, nonprofits, creatives, and community leaders who are doing the work that moves us forward.
Make sure you support today's guests. Share the show. Stay plugged into our plugs, because when we support each other, we all rise.
Until next time, keep believing, keep building, and keep shining. You've got this.
You've been listening to Our Plugs, the community connection where communities meet opportunity. We'll see you next time.